is everybody? Hopefully well. I'm trying out something new with my camera right now, so I actually cannot see myself. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to take it minute by minute here because I'll tell you what, I am so tired of my videos being small. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I've tried changing the settings on the camera, tried changing the settings on the app that I use to edit my videos, and I just don't know why it keeps on shrinking the size of my videos like it didn't used to. I'm sitting here in the spare room in my parents' house because I wanted you guys to check out how gorgeous the snow is right here at the moment. And Willow is loving watching it. So yeah, what I want to do is I just came on because I want to go over the information on the people who murdered Savannah Soto and her boyfriend Matthew Guerra in Texas, because the probable cause affidavit came out, and I just wanted to go over that with you guys because, boy, these guys were dumb. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they were dumb because I'm glad that they've been, arrested and, most likely going to be convicted. But I wanted to read the PCA with you guys. So, now, there were two people arrested. It was a father and son. The father is, I think, 54 years old. Actually, it's in the probable cause here. I'm not, I'll get to that because I'm not sure. I know it's in here though. I think he's 54. And his name is, Ramon Preciado. And, he is the big dude that was driving the truck that we saw in the surveillance video that I attached to my last video for you guys. And the person that was driving Matthew's car was his son, Christopher Preciado, who's only 19 years old. Now, the messed up part about all this is the 19-year-old is the one who actually murdered them. So he's the one that's been charged with capital murder. At first it was 2 charges. I've heard that it's now been upgraded to 3 because they're charging him also for baby Fabian, which is only fair. Baby Fabian was at 41 weeks gestation. He was about to come out. They were going to have to induce her because he was late coming out. Her first baby, of course, so it's even freaking sadder, So, yeah, they did the perp walk and everything, and I'm going to show you guys that video. I will attach it in here somewhere so you can actually see what these scumbags look like. And I'm going to put up photos, of course, like I always do. So, yeah, let's get into it. Instead of my explaining what happened, why don't I read this to you from the police? Alright, so the undersigned affiant, Detective Jeremy Goodwin, being a peace officer under the laws of the state of Texas and being duly sworn an oath, makes the following statements and accusations. A victim in this case has been identified as Savannah Nicole Soto, date of birth August 22nd, 2005, hereinafter referred to as Victim 1. God, 2005, you guys, she's just a little baby. This is just so sad. A victim in this case has also been identified as Matthew Gabriel Guerra, date of birth October 26th, 2001, hereinafter referred to as victim number 2. Now, they don't name baby Fabian as a victim in the PCA. That came later. Willow, don't. You're going to knock my camera over. So, he's mentioned later on in the PCA, but, he's not listed as, victim number 3. So, let's see. An actor in this case has been identified as Christopher Ray Preciado, date of birth September 7th, 2004. Hereinafter referred to as defendant. Said defendant is further identified in SAPD computer files under SID number 1191061. It is the belief of your affiant that the offense of capital murder, multiple persons, was committed on or about the 21st day of December, 2023, in Bexar County, Texas. Your affiant has probable cause for said belief by reason of the following facts. On December 23rd, 2023, Leon Valley Police received a call for a missing person report. Family of the missing person stated she was supposed to be induced for her pregnancy and did not show up for the appointment. The family advised they had not been able to get a hold of the female and stated she was not answering her phone. A check of hospitals was conducted by the family, and it was found that the female was not at any of the hospitals. It was found that the female lived with her boyfriend. However, the family of the boyfriend advised they were not able to get in touch with him as well. The female was entered as a missing person by Leon Valley. Further investigation found that the female and her boyfriend were not responding to any phone calls, and their whereabouts were unknown. Media broadcast on the news the story of the missing female and her boyfriend. The boyfriend's car description was broadcast in the media and was said to be a 2013 gray Kia Optima. On December 26, 2023, a resident of 5903 Danny K. Drive messaged the family of the female and advised them that they believed the vehicle was parked at 5903 Danny K. Drive. The family contacted Leon Valley and drove to the location. Now, just quickly want to state that was a question that I had in my video, if you guys remember. I wondered how, I knew that one of Savannah's cousins got a Facebook message from someone who spotted the car there, but it's actually someone that lived there. They, I guess, looked outside and said, the car is parked at my house, and here's the address. So yeah, that was interesting. So upon Leon Valley Police arrival to the location, Leon Valley Police observed the vehicle. Inside the vehicle was a deceased pregnant female in the front seat and a deceased male in the back seat. Now, that's another thing that we were wondering if Savannah was still pregnant or if there had been a coffin birth situation, because typically, she had been laying there for 4 days. So typically, when coffin births happen, it's usually in about that time frame, roughly. Now, apparently that's not something that's very common. It's actually not very common is what I'm hearing, although I know of 2 cases off the top of my head that it did happen. It happened to Shanann Watts and it happened to Lacey Peterson. So I kind of thought that possibly the baby would have kind of delivered on its own because of the gas buildup inside the body as it was decaying, which is so horrible to think about. But a lot of people had that question, was she still pregnant? So apparently by this affidavit saying that, a pregnant female, she still was pregnant. So San Antonio police were contacted and your affiant made the location. Upon arrival to the location, your affiant observed the vehicle. The vehicle was a 2013 Kia Optima with Texas license plate TRC 9447. Your affiant checked the VIN number. The VIN number was the same VIN number that was broadcast on the news for the missing couple. A check of the information through NCIC TCIC showed the vehicle belonged to the boyfriend of the female. Your affiant observed the front right passenger side of the vehicle. Your affiant observed a deceased pregnant female inside the front right passenger seat. Due to your affiant knowledge of the female on a previous murder case from 2022, your affiant recognized the female to be that of the missing female. The female appeared to have trauma to her head. Now that's referring to this particular cop remembered Savannah from when her brother was murdered. That's what that's about there. Because yes, I don't know, I'm just assuming you guys did not see my previous video on this case. Savannah's brother was 15 years old and he was murdered by a 17-year-old kid over some weed cartridges. He stole weed cartridges from this kid, and the kid got another teenager to contact Savannah's brother through Instagram and scheduled a meet to buy the drugs, and instead of the little girl showing up, it was the boy who he stole them from, and he shot him multiple times. And then he was apparently on the run for a while, and they didn't catch him for I think it was 7 months. And then when he was in his one of his court hearings, Savannah's family was there, and he made some kind of gesture. I don't know, did he give him the finger? I don't know. They said a gesture, and it pissed them off so much that Savannah's family jumped the kid inside the courtroom and I just can't wrap my head around that. Like, I understand being pissed, and I understand them, like, provoking and poking at you, but you really have to act like an animal like that and jump the kid in the courtroom? I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, back to this. Your affiant then observed the back seat of the vehicle. Your affiant observed a deceased male in the back seat of the vehicle. The deceased male resembled the boyfriend to the female. The male had apparent gunshot wound to the head. It appeared the male had been dragged into the vehicle. Your affiant did not observe any weapon near the male. A search warrant was requested so entry into the vehicle could be conducted. I'm assuming it was locked. While waiting for the search warrant, your affiant spoke to the families of the female and the male. It was found that the boyfriend of the female sold narcotics and would use his phone through cellular communication as well as social media to sell narcotics. It was also advised that the boyfriend would post money and narcotics on Instagram. It stated that the people wanted to rob the boyfriend, and it was stated that the boyfriend had been shot at before. That just goes back to my thinking, like, why the hell would you bring Savannah with you on any type of drug deal if you've already been shot at before? Like, what? Bro, I can't get past it. Like, I'm really... Obviously, Christopher Preciado is the scumbag who did this, but I just can't stop being angry that Matthew even brought her with him. Like, why? Why? That baby would be here today. Granted, she would be miserable because her boyfriend would be dead, but, like... This is just, I can't believe it. Alright, so while waiting for the search warrant, oh yeah, I read that already. The family provided your affiant with the phone number of the female. The family of the male provided the affiant with his phone number as well as his Instagram. When the search warrant arrived at the location, a search of the vehicle was conducted. The search found spent shell casing in the vehicle. However, there was no weapon recovered in the vehicle. There was apparent blood transfer on the outside of the vehicle that was not consistent with the boyfriend causing harm to the female. Both the female and the male had gunshot wounds to the head, and the male also had apparent drag marks on his back. It was believed that the female and male were killed at a different location, and the vehicle was driven to the recovered location, which we pretty much know because we got them on video. These idiots. During further investigation, your affiant found video surveillance video at 5903 Danny K. The video surveillance found that on December 21st, 2023, at around 23:59 hours, a Chevrolet Silverado gray driving with its lights off from the vehicle recovered location. The Silverado pulled in the middle of the back parking lot and parked next to the vehicle. Back parking lot and parked the vehicle. The victim's vehicle could then be seen approaching the Chevrolet Silverado. The victim's vehicle parked next to the Silverado. A heavy-set male exited the Silverado and the driver's side door of the victim's vehicle opened. The heavy-set male approached the driver of the victim's vehicle and appeared to speak to the driver. The heavy-set male then got a towel from his vehicle and appears to wipe down the outside of the victim's vehicle door where he had touched the vehicle. The driver of the victim's vehicle exited the vehicle for a brief moment and sat back in the driver's seat. The driver did not match the description of the female victim or the male victim. The Hispanic male got back into his vehicle. The victim's vehicle drove behind the building where the vehicle was found on December 26, 2023. The Silverado followed the victim's vehicle. Approximately 3 minutes later, the Silverado was observed leaving from behind the building where the victim's vehicle was found. The victim's vehicle did not leave the location. It was believed that the victims were already deceased in the vehicle at the time of the video observed. It is believed that unknown driver and heavyset male observed parked the victim's vehicle at the location in an effort to hide the vehicle, which we already knew all of that. And my God, they were so stupid. Like, let me name the number of ridiculous mistakes. Okay, first of all, you are driving with your lights off, which, you know, that, like, is extremely stupid because you're driving to meet your son who has murder victims in their car and you're driving with no headlights on, probably trying to be, like, incognito, but in the meantime, if a cop had seen you, done, game over, idiot. So then, of course, they meet up and he gets out of the truck with his giant belly. Like, so, okay, you already, like, Granted, you can't see his face up close, but it's obvious that he's very overweight. So that's going to narrow down the number of suspects, right? Because now we're going to be looking for a very large guy. And then the person who's driving the victim's vehicle gets out and is talking to the big guy, and they are both seen on camera. Like, did you not even look around to look for cameras? Like, how stupid are you? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they were stupid because they're caught and they're going to go to jail forever. And I really, really, really hope that the son who did the shooting, I really hope he gets the death penalty. And I usually don't say that because I personally believe it's a way worse punishment to sit in jail for the rest of your life than it is to just the easy way out. Boom, it's over, you're done, you're dead, you're gone. No, see, in my opinion, it's worse to sit in jail. But this scumbag, this person who did this to an unborn baby does not even deserve to breathe the same air as we do. He does not deserve to be on this planet. He is that much of a monster. He deserves to be in the ground, just like his victims are. And I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. Okay. And I'm not alone, because I heard the Matthew's father being interviewed and he said the same thing. So I mean, I'm glad that that's what they want, because sometimes the parents are like, well, like Shanann Watts' parents, for example, they did not want Christopher Watts to get the death penalty because they said he thought he was allowed to take the lives of Shanann and his kids, but we don't want to be like the ones to have to take his life. So, parents can go either way. And usually the religious ones, like Shanann's parents, they do what they do. And I don't blame them. I don't. I mean, I understand that they didn't want to have that on their conscience. It totally makes sense. All right. So, and let me say what else. Okay, so then the towel, right? Then this dumbass takes a towel from his truck and starts wiping it all over the place. Now, he's thinking he's going to get rid of evidence, right? But no, he's being stupid because he's got skin cells on the towel. And he's now transferring those to the car. So he's just maybe removing fingerprints, but leaving DNA, you dumb idiot. You know what I mean? Like, what a moron. Good. I'm glad he's a moron, because done. All right. So, where was I? January 2nd, 2024, your affiant provided one of the victim's cell phones to Detective Knox at the Technical Investigations Unit. On January 3rd, 2024, your affiant received the phone download from Detective Knox. Your affiant found that the victim had recently searched the street Charlie Chan Drive. Due to your affiant's knowledge of the crime scene area, your affiant was aware that Charlie Chan Drive was only a couple blocks away from the scene. My finger slipped and I hit the button. Now I have to sign back into my tablet. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I accidentally hit the... You know how you hit the power button and the screen goes dark? So, my bad. Alright, yeah, so a couple blocks away from the victim's vehicle recovery location. So, that's another stupid mistake. Like, seriously? You're gonna dump their vehicle with their bodies in it right around the corner from your house? What? I mean, Jesus. Drive a little bit farther away, like, you morons. Whatever, it's all good. And like I said, again, I'm glad they were stupid. Your affiant was able to discover that the victim's vehicle pinged near Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive around 23:50 hours on the night they were missing. The vehicle did not start moving again until 23:54 hours. The vehicle then traveled to 5903 Danny K. Drive, where the victims and their vehicle were discovered on December 26, 2023. Your affiant conducted computer research and was able to locate a vehicle that looked identical to the suspect. That's weird. Sorry, guys. It just cracked out on me. I apologize. Looked identical to the suspect vehicle seen on camera with the victim vehicle. Your affiant did research on the owner of the vehicle and found the owner of the vehicle matched the description of the male that exited the vehicle on camera. Homicide detectives went to vehicle location listed above and found the listed vehicle location while at the residence on Charlie Jan Drive. A person identified as Ramon Preciado reported knowing why SAPD was at his residence. Ramon Preciado informed SAPD detectives to speak with his son, identified as Christopher Preciado. Ramon Preciado and Christopher Preciado were transported to SAPD Homicide to speak with your affiant, while additional SAPD detectives searched the residence on Charlie Chan Drive under the authority of a search warrant. Hang on one second. Sorry, y'all, I just wanted my coffee. Look at how pretty. Maybe I should turn the light on in here too, because it's getting a little dark. Okay. My goodness, it's actually starting to stick out there. Quite surprised by that. Okay. Your affiant spoke with Ramon Preciado after he was read the Miranda warnings. Ramon Preciado admitted to driving his Chevrolet Silverado to 5903 Danny K Drive, where he met Christopher Preciado. Ramon Preciado identified himself on surveillance video from 5903 Danny K Drive as the person observed exiting the Chevrolet Silverado. Ramon Preciado reported meeting Christopher Preciado at the apartment complex, who was driving another vehicle. The vehicle is the vehicle in which Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto were found deceased. Ramon Preciado admitted to assisting Christopher Preciado at 5903 Danny K Drive. Ramon Preciado knowingly treated the human corpse of Matthew Guerra, Savannah Soto, and the unborn child of Savannah Soto named Fabian in an offensive manner by leaving them in the abandoned vehicle. Now, honestly, I wish, personally, that they were able to charge Ramon with, like, accessory to murder, but apparently they can't. It seems like they're, only able to charge him with abuse of a corpse. So, unfortunately, he's not going to see that much time, but he's not the one who pulled the trigger. So, I suppose I can understand that. You know what? Why don't we do, at this point, take a little break, and I'll show you the perp walk.
Why did he do it? Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know Savannah was 9 years ago?
Make a hole, guys.
Christmas? What? I am your worst. You sorry? Tell us. Tell us. What's going on?
Are you unborn baby? Did you kill him or did you just hide the evidence?
How'd you look at that?
Was it retaliation?
You sorry? Who killed him?
If it wasn't you, who was it then?
Watch out, guys. Make a hole.
¿Quién te ayudó? ¿Quién te ayudó? Es tu última oportunidad para
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, guys. Closing the door. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys.
Sorry? You sorry?
Alrighty, so I'm back. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the perp walk. Because, like, you know, when Christopher first came out, I was like, whoa. I thought it was a chick at first. Like, because we got the perp walk before we got the press conference or the PCA. So all we knew was that they arrested two people, and we were just sitting there waiting to see who these two people were. So they brought the big dude out first because we were all expecting at least one of the two to be the big dude. And, you know, and then, how about him mouthing off to the camera, talking about, oh, this is fake news, and you guys don't have your facts straight, and, I mean, what? No. You're lying, you're a scumbag, and that was a pregnant girl. Like, ugh. Anyway. So, back to the PCA. Yeah, well, I just finished talking about Ramon, so here we go. Your affiant then spoke with Christopher Preciado after Christopher was read the Miranda warnings. Christopher Preciado reported Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto drove to his residence on Charlie Chan Drive to sell Christopher Preciado marijuana. Christopher Preciado went on to provide a version of events that were inconsistent with the evidence collected at the scene and from the victim's recovered vehicle. Christopher claimed the male victim pointed a weapon at him, and Christopher was able to manipulate the weapon, resulting in the female being shot. Christopher then stated that the weapon had pointed at him again, and he manipulated the weapon again, resulting in the male victim being shot. Now, bullshit, 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 and more bullshit. Because you're going to tell me that that little boy was able to manipulate and fight for the gun twice, and both times it just so happened to hit them behind the right ear? No. I'm sorry, but no. What I believe happened, and I mean, I could be wrong, I'm just guessing. What I believe happened is Savannah and Matthew pulled up to Christopher's house. Christopher came out and got into the back seat of the vehicle behind Matthew. Matthew was driving along, and I believe that, well, maybe not now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe Matthew got out of the vehicle and came around to the passenger side of the vehicle while Savannah sat inside the car. And Christopher pulls the gun on Matthew, holds it up to his head, and pulls the trigger. Savannah starts to freak out, but he then puts the gun on, in her face, because she's in the passenger seat. He's standing outside, and he puts the gun to her head, and he shoots her. And then he drags Matthew into the back seat. Well, he opens the door to the back seat. He takes the baby seat out and puts it on top of Savannah to make room, and he pulls Matthew into the back seat of the car. Then he gets in the driver's seat, calls his dad freaking out, and they go around the corner and drop the car off, and then we see them on video, and the rest is history. That's how I think it happened, because they were both shot behind the right side of the right ear. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, because in order for Savannah to be hit there, they would have to be outside her side of the car. So, I think possibly Christopher walks up to the vehicle, Matthew gets out and comes around to the side to talk to him. And pretty much right away it happens, because it's only 4 minutes from the time they get to his house and the time that they leave to head over to Danny K to drop the vehicle off. So that's what I think happened, and that's just my opinion. I don't really know. I don't think any of us are ever going to know, because I don't believe that Christopher will ever tell the truth. But his claim was that Matthew pulled the gun and he was some kind of, I don't know, like some kind of like Superman, was able to manipulate the gun and boom boom. Like, no. No. Christopher Preciado's statement is inconsistent with the gunshot wounds suffered by Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto and the evidence located at the crime scene. Christopher Preciado intentionally discharged a firearm at Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra with the intention of causing the death. The actions of Christopher Preciado resulted in the death of Matthew Guerra, Savannah Soto, and Savannah Soto's unborn child named Fabian. Your affiant has reason to believe and does believe the said defendant, Christopher Ray Preciado, on or about the 21st day of December 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, intentionally caused the death of multiple persons in violation of Section 19.03 of the Penal Code of the State of Texas. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, because then it just goes on to, the warrant for his arrest and the warrant for Ramon's arrest, and that's pretty much it. So that is what's on the PCA. Now, there's also a short little press conference that they did right after they did the perp walk, and the cop just basically said what's in there. So it's pretty much Savannah's phone that got them caught, because I must have skipped it. There is a part, I must have skipped that paragraph, because there's a part in here about, but I'll just tell you, Savannah had searched for Charlie Chan Drive. Maybe I did say it. Savannah put that search in. So, they did not find Matthew's cell phone because Christopher thought, oh, I've been texting with him, so let me take the phone, so that they can't use it to figure out that he was talking to me. But he did not realize that Savannah's phone was also going to lead to him, because what I think happened was they were probably out doing some deliveries, dropping off some drugs to different people. And Matthew was hit up by Christopher asking for weed. And he's driving, and he says to Savannah, find out where Charlie Chan Drive is. And she just puts it in her phone for directions while Matthew's driving. So you see, that's what I believe the reason is why there's a search in Savannah's phone for Charlie Chan Drive. And then when the cops saw that in her phone, they were easily able to look on Google Earth or whatever and find a house on Charlie Chan Drive that had that truck in the driveway. Boom. That easy. So, yeah, they were not very smart, because, they took the gun and they took the phone out of the car, but they didn't take Savannah's phone, and they're very stupid. And then, so now what's going on is everyone is pissed off and freaking out, because in the surveillance video, somebody obviously hands that towel to Ramon out of the truck. So Ramon was not alone in that truck. There was a third person on the scene of this. So my question is, was it Mommy? Is Mommy going to get charged also? Because if she was there, then she damn well knew why. So I don't know. Was she abusing a corpse as well? Or maybe obstructing justice by not turning them in. I'm not sure, But somebody handed him that towel. And people are just okay, what about that person? So I guess we have to wait and see. But the cops did acknowledge that they're looking at that, because apparently they saw that too. I mean, they had to. It's obvious. Because Ramon doesn't go in the truck and take the towel. He turns around and somebody hands it to him. And you can literally see the towel come out the door of the truck before his hands go to get it. Do you know what I mean? So it's obvious. So yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to go down, and if Mommy's going to be charged too, or if it was somebody else that was in the car with Ramon. But either way, I also am wondering why nobody heard gunshots. So I'm kind of, there's also speculation that maybe Christopher had Matthew pull into their garage. And then they closed the garage door and shot them inside the garage, and that's why nobody heard the gunshots. Or maybe it's just that kind of neighborhood where there's gunshots all the time and people don't even don't even pay attention anymore. Or I just don't know. I don't know why nobody on Charlie Chan heard it. But yeah, so I'm wondering if the mom or whoever was the other person in that truck is going to be charged also. Let me think what else. The day after they were arrested, Christopher's car is parked in the driveway of the house, and it's a little black four-door something. And the next morning, people were putting out photos of the house where they live, and the car in the driveway. Somebody went and spray painted giant down the side of the door of the car, "Baby Killer," which awesome. You know, like I hope whoever did that is proud of themselves, because I'm proud of them. That's fucking cool. What else? Christopher Preciado's in for some shit. He don't look like he's very tough. I'm sure the gun is as tough as he gets. I don't believe that he's going to be very good with fists, so he better watch his ass in jail, because you know what they do to baby killers. And good, because I really hope that he gets his ass beat multiple occasions, and I also hope that he gets the death penalty. And unfortunately, Ramon is only gonna maybe get 3-4 years, because the charge that he's charged with does not have that big of a penalty. But Christopher has now been charged with 3 cases, 3 people, you know, because of the baby. And then he also is charged with abuse of a corpse, because, you know, he also dumped the bodies. And they got a search warrant to the house, and apparently they retrieved the gun, because that's another reason they're stupid. They kept the murder weapon in the house. Duh. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably also got Matthew's phone, or more proof that he took shit from Matthew, you know, that he's the one who robbed him. People are wondering if maybe Ramon knew about this and helped set up the murders and the robbery, because, you know, because of the fact that Matthew did a lot of bragging and showing off and posting stacks of money and things like that. But there's no way to know. Another thing that's really annoying is they have a HVAC company. Like, that's what this family does for a living. And after the murders happened, their Facebook page wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, and it's just disgusting that they're just going about life like it didn't happen. You know, it's just gross to see that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I just wanted to go over that stuff with you guys. I've wanted to since it all came out, but I just haven't had a chance to, you know, get on here. But yeah, that's about it. And like always, I'm going to put my PayPal, Venmo, Cash App down on the bottom of the screen here, because I am hurting right now. I really, really am trying to find a job. This is ridiculous how long I've been looking. But like, it's just getting bad. Like, I need cat food and everything, and I just don't have any money. So, yeah. If you feel like tipping me, that would be wonderful. PayPal is my thing, mostly. I mean, like, I would prefer that. I have all 3, but PayPal is what I would prefer, because I have a debit card attached to my PayPal. So yeah, that's about it. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.